As summer starts winding down, many of us start beginning to think about getting back into a routine. School might be starting again, work schedules tighten up, calendar begins filling up, mornings get earlier, and evenings they get busier. Somewhere in the middle of all that, we start thinking maybe it's time to finally get healthier. Maybe this is the year we get more organized, eat better, exercise regularly, sleep enough, and keep the house under control. Then we begin to make the list. We are going to wake up earlier, drink more water, exercise every day, meal prep on Sundays, stop eating sugar, clean out the entire house, meditate, journal, take all of those supplements that have been piling up in the cabinet, and somewhere find the time to make more homemade lunches that look like it belongs on Pinterest. We expect ourselves to change everything by Monday morning, and by Thursday, we are exhausted, behind, and wondering why we can't stick to anything. That is what I want to talk about today. How do you start living healthier without becoming completely overwhelmed? How do you make changes that actually last beyond the first burst of motivation? The first thing to understand is that most women do not have the lack of information. We already know many of the basic things that we are supposed to be doing. We know that we should drink more water, eat nourishing foods, move our bodies, sleep more, spend less time staring at our screens, and managing our stress. None of this is exactly breaking news. The problem is that we are trying to do all of that at the same time while managing work, family, school schedules, appointments, meals, bills, laundry, and everybody else's needs. We are not failing because we do not care. We often fail because the plan was unrealistic from the beginning. When healthy living starts to feel like another full-time job, something has gone wrong. Your health should support your life, and it should not become one more impossible standard hanging over your head. The best place to begin is not by asking, how can we fix everything? The best question is, what part of my life is creating the most strain right now? Look at your actual day. Where does everything seem to be going off the rails? Is it in the morning rush? Maybe the afternoon crash? Is it dinner time when everybody is hungry and nobody knows what is being cooked? Is it bedtime when you are exhausted but still scrolling, cleaning, or trying to finish that one last thing? For women, the biggest problem may be that she's staying up too late and begins every morning already tired. Another, it may be skipping meals or running on coffee until she crashes. The biggest stress may be waking up to clutter, lost shoes, missing papers, and 5 people asking questions before she has even had the chance to think. Start with that place that is creating the most friction. Do not begin with the habits that look like the most impressive on social media. Begin with the habits that would make your real life easier. Healthier living is also about more than food and exercise. Look at health through the 4 connected areas: mind, body, spirit, and personal environment. These are not separate little boxes. They affect one another all day long. When your mind is overwhelmed, it affects your sleep, your digestion, your patience, and your ability to make decisions. When your body is exhausted or maybe even undernourished, it becomes harder to think clearly or respond calmly. When your spirit feels empty or disconnected, even healthy routines can begin to feel pointless. When your personal environment is chaotic, cluttered, noisy, or consistently demanding your attention, it becomes harder to rest or maintain any kind of routine. You do not need to fix all four areas at once. That would land us right back in the same mess. But looking at all four can help you see where you may need support. Let us start with the mind. One of the simplest ways to reduce overload is to reduce the number of decisions that you have to make every day. We often think that we need more discipline, but sometimes what we really need is fewer choices. Choose 2 or 3 simple breakfasts and rotate through them. Pick one regular day for groceries. Decide the night before what must happen the next morning. Keep one visible calendar where the whole family can see it. Create one place for keys, shoes, bags, school papers, and all those little things that vanish the moment you need to use them. These things may not sound exciting, but every decision you remove gives your mind more room to breathe. A healthier routine should make your life simpler. It should not become another complicated system that you have to manage perfectly. Then we can take a look at the body. Before buying another supplement or starting another complicated program, go back to the basics. Are you drinking enough water? Are you eating often enough to keep your energy steady? Are you getting enough protein in nourishing foods? Are you moving your body in ways that support it instead of punishing it? Are you sleeping enough to recover? You do not have to rebuild the entire diet overnight. Choose one meal to improve. Maybe breakfast needs to be more substance than coffee, candied cereal, and good intentions. Maybe lunch needs to stop being whatever you can grab while standing over a computer screen. Maybe dinner needs to become simpler instead of more elaborate. Healthy food doesn't need to be fancy. Sometimes the healthiest decisions is having something ready before everybody becomes tired, hungry, and mean. We've all been there. I don't know how many evenings we had a vegetable tray with hummus and peanut butter before our evening scout meeting. Yes, that is an acceptable meal. Next is spirit. Spiritual health doesn't have to mean creating an elaborate practice or adding another obligation to your schedule. It can be a few quiet moments before the household wakes up. It can be sitting outside with your tea, praying, journaling, gardening, listening to music, reading something meaningful, or simply breathe before moving into the next demand of your day. Many women are not only physically tired, they are disconnected from themselves. Their entire day is spent responding to other people, solving problems, completing tasks, and keeping everything moving. They rarely have a moment when they are not producing, fixing, serving, answering, and performing. A healthy routine should include at least one small moment when you can be present with yourself. It may only be 5 minutes, but 5 minutes of genuine quiet with self can begin to change the tone of the entire day. Look at your personal environment. The surroundings shape your habits more than most of us realize. If the kitchen is cluttered and difficult to use, cooking feels harder. If the bedroom is full of laundry, electronics, work, and unfinished tasks, rest becomes harder. If everything needed for the morning is scattered throughout the house, the morning feels stressful before the event even starts. You don't need to organize the entire house in one weekend. Please don't turn this video into just one more reason to destroy every closet you own, and choose one area that directly supports a daily routine. Clear one kitchen counter. Create a place for your water bottles. Put a basket by the door for school papers. Set out what you need the night before. Make one small corner feel calm and settled. Put your walking shoes somewhere that you can see them instead of burying them under 6 reusable grocery bags. And delegating personal responsibility is acceptable and even necessary for their growth and well-being. Your environment should make healthier choices easier. It should quietly support the life that you are trying to build. A simple back to routine reset could include one small change in each area. For the mind, you might write down tomorrow's 3 priorities before going to bed. For the body, you might drink a glass of water while the coffee is brewing. For the spirit, it could be sitting quietly for 5 minutes before checking your phone. Your personal environment could be resetting the kitchen each evening so you do not wake up to yesterday's chaos. That is enough. You do not need 20 new habits. You need a few small practices that begin working together. You are not trying to create an entirely different life. You are fitting healthier choices into life you are already living. As we move out of summer and back into routine, this can be a natural time to reset. But a reset does not mean throwing away your whole life and trying to become a different person overnight. It means looking honestly at what is working, what is not working, and what one small change could make your daily life feel more supported. What is your one change? Leave it in the comment section. And with that, I'll talk with you again soon. Peace.